Hey friends and family, this is SP News Nuggets, and today, you guys, is December the 24th, 2019. It is Christmas Eve, and we've got two stories coming out of the Texas area. One of them is about a baby that, I guess, apparently got strangled or wrapped into some plastic and died this morning. And the other one is about a woman that got killed and was put in the trunk of her best friend's car. You guys, I got the details for you, so we're going to share those because we're going to be talking about these stories. Here we go.
One in Channelview, Harris County Sheriff's deputies think a 3-month-old suffocated. Welcome to KHOU 11 News at Noon. I'm Brady Smith in for Sherman Chow. That baby was found dead by his grandmother at a home on Shottery Drive near Waterside. Janelle Fort spoke with investigators.
Your heart just has to go out to this family. Absolutely not the type of pain that you'd wish on anyone, anytime, but especially not on Christmas Eve. I spoke with authorities earlier. They say right now they're focused on gathering the physical evidence in an autopsy so they can corroborate the family's story. Investigators say Grandma told them she found the 3-month-old baby boy unresponsive around 4 o'clock this morning. Grandma told police that she was watching him while his mother works a night shift at a nearby restaurant. Police say there were 5 kids, including the infant, home at the time. The oldest, 15 years old. Grandma told police she put the baby to sleep in a common room and instructed the kids not to move the baby. But she says at some point, someone did so anyways. Investigators say the baby ended up in a small bedroom. When Grandma found him, he was off the mattress, face down on the floor, wrapped in a plastic bag.
And, the assumption right now is that the child possibly suffocated. So very tragic situation out here. Mother's very distraught. Just very sad. They saw her with a red Christmas hat on coming from work to receive this kind of news.
The sheriff says his department will allow time for the family to grieve, but he says that his investigators will continue to work the case. Back to you.
A day of sadness.
Our hearts and our minds are with Heidi and her family today.
And joy. The body of a missing Austin mother is discovered at a Houston home, but a baby is found alive.
She was always a really good mom to her kids.
The woman police say may be responsible, one of her longtime friends. While police wait for DNA testing to confirm it's the missing child, a family and a community mourns this loss.
This all started Thursday, December 12th. This is the last known photo of Heidi Broussard alive, 7:30 in the morning, dropping off one of her children at Cowan Elementary in South Austin. Investigators believe she returns home at that point. She doesn't pick up her child from school, so her fiancé, Shane Carey, calls family, friends, and police. Friday morning, Austin police issue an alert and release their pictures to the media. Over the weekend, police conduct interviews, look for surveillance video, and enlist the help of federal authorities. On Wednesday, December 18th, investigators set up a tip line for information. The next day, December 19th, a tip leads them to Houston. KVU's Bryce Newberry tells us what happened there.
That tip led authorities to a home in northwest Harris County and eventually to a woman connected to Heidi Broussard's murder. Her name is Megan Fieramusca, and this is where she was taken, the Harris County Jail, on 2 charges of kidnapping and a charge of tampering with a corpse. This is Megan Fieramusca, the woman arrested in northwest Harris County. At this home, investigators found a body in the backyard in this silver Nissan's trunk. Police say they found Fieramusca outside the home Thursday and detained her on traffic violations.
Megan
Fieramusca appeared before a Harris County judge Friday, keeping her head down most of the time. When police connected her to the Broussard case, they added kidnapping and tampering with human corpse charges. Our cameras were rolling as Fieramusca left the Harris County Jail, bound for Travis County, where sources tell KVUE she could face a capital murder charge.
I've been following her story as being, having been missing, and thought, what in the world could have happened to her? And oh, Lord Jesus, here she in our backyard.
Darla Bundick lives down Bojack Lane from the home where the body was found.
Yeah, I never would have thought in a million years it was this.
Late Friday, the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office identified the body as Broussard's. They ruled she died of strangulation. Meanwhile, investigators are running DNA tests to confirm a safe, unharmed baby found at Fieramusca's home is Broussard's daughter, Margot Carey. Law enforcement sources tell KVUE Fieramusca plotted to take baby Margot leading up to her birth and may have had help pulling it off. Now, authorities have scenes from Houston to Austin to continue investigating.
The mom, 33-year-old Megan Fieramusca. Moments ago, she arrived at the Travis County Jail in Austin, where she's facing 2 charges of kidnapping and a charge of tampering with a corpse. Austin investigators transferred her from the Harris County Jail shortly after 6 o'clock tonight. This here is video of the investigators leaving Houston with Fieramusca. The baby, Margot Carey, who's less than a month old, is in CPS custody tonight. We learned there will be a hearing on Monday to determine who will care for that child. Her father and 6-year-old brother live in Austin.
Channel 2 Sophia Beausoleil live outside the home where 24 hours ago investigators were searching for clues. Sophia?
Yes, Dominique and Keith, this is the home where Heidi Broussard's body was found in the back of a trunk. Now, we know that the house belongs to the suspect's boyfriend, and at this time, there's still many questions as to what exactly happened and why. But tonight, we're learning a little bit more when it comes to the relationship between the suspect and the victim. A friend says that the two met many years ago, almost 20 years ago when they were kids, at church camp. More than a week after their disappearance in Austin, the search for 33-year-old Heidi Broussard and her newborn daughter is over. But it's an outcome her loved ones feared. Heidi's body was found inside the trunk of a car at this house on Bojack Drive in northwest Harris County, more than 150 miles away from where she lived. The medical examiner says Broussard was strangled, but her 3-week-old daughter, Margot Carey, was found alive inside the house. The person at the center of this investigation is the mother's childhood friend, Megan Fieramusca.
I was disgusted. I was heartbroken. I was shocked. I didn't expect this.
A tip led law enforcement to the 2-story house. Fieramusca was arrested and charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and tampering with a corpse. She appeared in court on unrelated charges Friday and was later transported back to Austin. Friends say the suspect and the slain woman were close, so close that Megan Fieramusca was in the room when Heidi Broussard gave birth weeks ago.
So I thought it was genuinely, she was concerned for Heidi's well-being.
Carissa Nolte is one of Heidi's best friends. She told NBC News that Fieramusca appeared worried about their friend and they constantly talked about it over the phone.
Every day, she was concerned for Heidi's well-being. But it was probably every 2 to 3 hours.
Those who know the suspect say she told people she was pregnant, even had an online registry and used the name Megan Humphrey. Her due date was listed as the same as Heidi's, but now friends don't believe Fieramusca was ever really expecting. And Fieramusca's bond was set at $600,000, and she could possibly face more charges.
Texas EquiSearch Tim Miller says he spoke to Fieramusca about the case nearly a week ago. Miller says he thought she was cooperating with law enforcement, so he was caught off guard when she was charged in connection with Heidi's disappearance.
Megan sounded so very, very convincing. When it came out that Heidi's body was found in the back of, allegedly in the back of Megan's car, and the baby was alive, it was like, how does something like this happen?
While investigators are confident the baby found alive in the home is Broussard's child, it will take up to 72 hours for DNA results to officially confirm.
Hey, friends and family. So there are 2 cases. The first case, I think that probably was an accident. I really do. That's just my own opinion. And but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it Friday, you guys. But this second case with this Fieramusca lady, you guys, we're gonna have to dig into this one. Okay? I'll see you guys later. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.